This week's proud sponsors are Murphy and Young Limited. They design, manufacture, supply and erect bespoke timber kit houses and summer houses. You can get them at www.murphyandyoungltd.co.uk or contact them at info@murphyandyoungltd.co.uk. If you're looking for any information, if you get any projects that you want the guys to help you with, just give them a shout. They're top drawer. Thanks for listening to the episode. We hope you enjoy. Alright everybody, welcome back to episode 6 of the Roundup. An absolute beauty this week. A beauty, mate.
That's what I mean, mate. I feel as if there's hunters to talk about this week, but there's probably the same amount of games as usual.
It just seems, see with the senior Scottish being there, it seems a bit more juicy. It was good this week.
Beautiful weekend, mate. I'm such a happy place this weekend.
It's much better than last week, mate. I feel like you didn't want to talk last week.
Listen, I always want to talk, mate, because I think sometimes, even when it goes wrong, mate, you need to stand in front. You need to face the camera, mate. You need to do it.
Take the good with the bad, mate.
Exactly, mate.
Well, nowhere else to start but the first round of the Scottish Cup. Meda 1, Talbot 3, Formartine 2, Cumnock 2, Keith 1, Darvel 2, Broomhill 6, Glasgow Union 0, Clydebank 7, Dalkeith 0. We'll just start with the big one that's the most relevant, I suppose. Meda and the Talbot. I think people would have expected the Talbot to win. Had a wee look at the highlights and a wee listen to both managers talking as well. It appeared that the Meda were the better side first half. Big Andy Leishman's made an absolute worldie of a save.
That's some save, mate.
Scary save. And that, to be fair, that's at an important time, but that's what our big players are for. Talbot came out second half, dominate, get the win, just like they always do, but it's a cracking first game, man.
Mate, did you see the crowd? See that hanging thing on Twitter?
I know, unbelievable.
Like a full house, man. The atmosphere was electric. It looked amazing. That save with Leishman, people score goals and all that, and strikers and forward players and even defenders get plaudits a lot, but see that save, mate, that just epitomises and proves why he's probably the best and has been the best for so long at this grade, because that is a massive save at a massive time, and then they've went on to win the game. It's an unbelievable save, mate. The things behind him, he's clawed it out, man.
Yeah, see if De Gea makes that save against West Ham today, everybody's going to have to nut about it. Unbelievable save.
The guy's unbelievable, man. Everything I've seen him there the last 10 years longer, man. He's definitely been the top kiddie, to be honest with you.
Excellent, man. See, even with the penalty, the Meda boys had a lovely penalty. Leishman's so big that he doesn't get to it, obviously, but I'd imagine hitting a penalty would be difficult because he's huge. He gets close to it as well, but I did think the penalty was exceptionally soft. But like Tucker said in his interview, if you go to ground, you're giving the referee a decision.
And I think even we talk about it in the big games, I think having the home crowd there, and then when they make a noise and they're looking for a penalty, it is hard for a referee or Lionel's not to get it, because let's be honest, man, officials are influenced with crowds, definitely. So it's been great for them to bounce back to Albert, man. I don't think we can keep saying enough good things about them. What they do, they just, even when it's one each and Meda and Tap, you think that Meda might go and do it, and then Talbot just up the gears, and then obviously they've got a couple of goals. Brilliant.
Did you see Schenkel's goal?
Aye, mate. I thought Samson's was a good hit and all.
It was a cracker, but I thought Schenkel's a beauty. Right, moving on to the other side of the big derby too. Cumnock get up to Formartine and get a 2-each draw. I watched the highlights again this morning. Thought they were quite unlucky not to get the win. They look the better side, but it's got to be that's a team the equivalent to, in a sense, the league above them, who are sixth in that league, and they've went and taken it to them up there. You never know what happened next week, but I do fancy Cumnock to get something, because they've been playing well. With a crowd behind them, I imagine the Cumnock fans will turn up their numbers to support. I think they've got a good shout at winning that.
I think it's going to be a bumper of a crowd down there. Listen, there'll probably be knowing Tony and Branko and that, they'll probably be disappointed they've not won the game up there. But see, coming back down the road and they're still in the cup, and the boys can have a few beers on the way down the road, and then they can concentrate on it on Saturday. I think that, as you say, with a full tune getting behind them, and now with a drawing for the next round and what the prize can be at stake, I think it's fourth for it all for the winner.
That's it. It's another gate for them too. More money to come in, and it's big money. Before my apologies, I'll need to go back because a couple of weeks ago I commented on the state of the Meda pitch. I thought it was terrible. It looked excellent yesterday. It looked not as good as it had been, but I tell you what, it's in a couple of weeks what a job they've done.
Well, mate, I pinged you, mate, on Twitter and says to you, mate, have a look at that. So, listen, I think a lot of teams, especially the teams that have went and got the licence and met the criteria to get into the big Scottish, have spent a lot of money having to do other things. So, unfortunately, in football, when you invest money in something like different bits of infrastructure, then other bits are going to maybe drop because they're not getting the care and attention. So, Meda have probably been spending their money on different bits and bobs to meet the criteria, and the part's been a wee bit neglected. But by the way, it was looking good on Saturday, and the place is looking tip top, mate.
Definitely. Moving on to the next one, a great victory for Darvel against Keith. Again, Keith Highland League team, a bit lower down, but Darvel beat them 2-1. Watching it back, it really should have been there. I heard Mick's interview as well. And seeing another day, that could have been 5 or 6. You know what I mean? It looked like a doing. What surprised me also, the crowd was really poor for it. Really wasn't many at it.
See, the thing is, mate, for Darvel fans, it's a hell of a trek, mate.
Aye. I don't mean in terms of them, I mean the Keith fans.
Aye. Well, what I took for it is, man, I don't know if they're right in there for what neck of the woods, man.
I don't know. I remember them playing against Rangers at Ibrox, like, I don't know, about 20 odd years ago, you know what I mean? So, they're reasonable enough side to go that far before. So
they wear kilts and do cable tossing up there and all that. You know what I mean? No, but I think with Mick's interview and that, I've no managed to get to the highlights yet. Firstly, I'm delighted that they've got the result and they've done well and they've went up there and done it, because I seen it. I think even for the interview, you can see that Mick was relieved. I think he was just relieved to get and because especially if they've missed as many chances as what they were saying, and if you've seen it then as what you're saying, it's just a relief to get up there and get through the next round, and he's just hoping, and the boys are just hoping that just kickstarts him again. Do you know what I mean?
It might be the wee lift they need. Moving on, Broomhill beat Glasgow Uni 6-0. Expected that Broomhill were going to win. I mean, in terms of when the leagues start to settle and the divisions find themselves next year, Glasgow Uni could be 2 or 3 leagues below them. So it is what it is. Broomhill absolutely battered them for what I've seen. But it's good that...
it is what it is.
I mean, it's playing a bit of
done well. He started well in there, so he's in there and started well. The Uni have had a good start to the season because they had a good result against Bells Hill, 4-3, when they'd won just before that game. So I would have fancied BSC. I just didn't think they would win as comfortably as what they've ran it.
I see. For me, that's something where I think that the West teams, or there's a couple of new teams, St Peter's being one, but the West teams having that history behind them, where you look at the Meda and the Talbot game, like I said, massive crowd, come up to good following up. See Broomhill, watching it they play at Alloa, it just feels so artificial. That honestly, it's not the same feeling because they're just a new team that were into the Lowland League and that. And for me, it didn't have the same feeling as what the clubs.
I know that it's a different debate, and we're here to talk about the West, but we talk about football as well. And for me, Broomhill need to be back in Glasgow, mate. And I know that's difficult, but I think they need to be in Glasgow because they're a Glasgow-based side, and they would pick up an extra wee fall and probably be comfy here. But listen, I don't know what goes on behind the scenes up there. It is what it is, isn't it?
It is. Moving on to Clydebank 7, Dalkeith 0. Again, watched the highlights today, and I was talking to him off earlier today, and I was saying to him, I thought they looked electric yesterday. See, just for the highlights, they looked so sharp. I mean, I'd imagine Dalkeith are a decent enough side, But Clydebank honestly, mate, looked dynamite, and I thought they were excellent in the highlights.
See Clydebank, mate. Clydebank have got a lot of young boys, right? And a lot of them are experienced, and a lot of them are getting experience. And I think that they're that kind of team. See, when they just click on the day, they've that capability of blowing people out the water. Do you know what I mean? Blowing teams right out the water. It's a tremendous result, tremendous day for the Toon, because it's been a long time, and then it's a tremendous day for the players, the supporters that have had to go through so much over the years. It's a great result for them. Delighted for Moff and Gaz, Kirky, and all the boys, and they seem a really good bunch of boys down there as well. So brilliant for them, and I've got another home tie against Elgin in the next game, mate. Going to be another bumper. Really a chance for them, Clydebank, to go in, because they were red hot favourites, Clydebank, man.
I know.
And see against Elgin, it'll be good for them to get there. Hopefully get a massive crowd down there at home park and try and take a scalp to a league club, which would be monumental.
There was over 800 at the game yesterday, and I imagine Dalkeith didn't take a huge following through, so that's mostly Clydebank fans. And before we move on, just to talk about round 2, I'm just going to drop it to Nudak. I've not even spoke to you about this, but in a couple of months' time we've got a wee something planned with Clydebank, or Clydebank related, and it's going to be a good wee night, I think.
Aye, it would be good. Hopefully they'll still have us, and their sponsor, they love it, and all still might be in conjunction with them, you know.
Maybe, possibly. We'll not talk too much about it.
No, but that's for another day, mate.
That is indeed. Right, round 2, like you said, Clydebank have got Elgin. If Cumnock get through, they're at home to Forfar. Darvel are away to Stranraer, and Talbot are away to Preston Athletic. Clydebank, I don't see if they play like they did yesterday, they'll give themselves a chance. I thought they were excellent. Cumnock, I think Forfar might be a bridge too far, but Cut, you never know, mate. You know what I mean? Darvel, I feel they're similar to Cumnock, because that's a right established team with Stranraer. It's going to be tough. But I really fancy Talbot to make it through.
Well, you know what? I'm going to stick my neck out in the line. See if Cumnock get through. Because I'm a West boy, I'm going to see every West team's going to put them out. There's going to be a few scalps there, mate. I'll go for it, mate. I'll back our teams. Hopefully they don't let me down. You know what I mean?
Well, let's get back onto league action now.
Yes.
In the Premier League, Bees 6, Bonnet 1, Benburb 5, Troon 1, Cumbernauld 2, Kilburney 2, Larks 2, Rob Roy 2, Pollock 2, Kilwinning 1, Rossvale 3, Blantyre 1, Glencairn 1, Glenafton 5. The big one yesterday, Murday and the Pollock machine just keeps on rolling, doesn't it?
I'll be honest, I think we've not spoke a hell of a lot about Pollock. And I was looking at the table the day and I was like, wow, man, they're doing superbly. I don't think Murdy's maybe getting enough credit for what he's doing. I think he's doing a really, really good job down there. It's a great result for them on Saturday. Obviously, they're up there, Waco winning. Takes them closer to Talbot. Obviously, Talbot being in cup action, it was a good chance to put the squeeze on them a bit. And they've beat the big clubs now. Pollock, they're the ones that are coming out and tapping their games. So hats off to Murdy and the boys. I seen the goal. Seen Duff's goal at the end. Good finish and that. And I'm delighted for Murdy, because you know what I think of Murdy as well as a person and that anyway. So I'm always gunning for him for knowing him for back in the Ashfield days. So delighted for him, and I don't think he's getting enough credit for the job that he's done for the start of the season.
I think he'd probably be quite happy. Maybe it's just because it's us that talk about this and we don't mention them a huge amount. I just feel even on Twitter and that, they're just flying under the radar, and they probably like that, because they're properly going about their business well, don't they?
Mate, they've got very good players, mate. They've got very good players, and they're a very experienced team now. Do you know what I mean? They've got wee bits of youth through them, but they're a strong, experienced unit, and they're doing very well. And I think you're right, mate. See them just flying under the radar. They probably shoot them out of a tee, because people are talking about Darvel not getting results. People are talking about Kilwinning should be doing maybe a Straney would be wanting him to do a wee bit better. Talbot keep winning games and stuff like that, and Clydebank are looking really good, and they're not mentioning Paul maybe quite as much. So now they're getting it on the show this week, mate.
Definitely. I listened to Straney's interview after the game and he looked very disappointed. Watching the highlights back, the highlights weren't overly long, so you didn't see a great deal again. But watching it back, if I was him and he kind of touched on it, I'd have been really disappointed defensively for the 2 goals. First one, big centre half kind of sells himself, whipped across the face, and for me, the right back he's not done his job well enough. He's I don't know if he's fair asleep in it because he kind of comes into shot late, but I think it's Esplin that scored again. He's come in, back stick, taps it in.
I think it was Stu McCann, mate.
Sorry, Stu McCann. It was Stu McCann, right? You'd expect the fullback to have been in a better position and known he was there, but well done for scoring.
Mate, the difference is at that level, and I even find it at our level too, mistakes get punished. You know what I mean? So if you're a defender or a goalkeeper or whatever, and you make a mistake, then majority of the time it's getting punished, and it's just been unfortunate for winning. You know what I mean?
Moving on to Cumbernauld and Kilbirnie, 2 each. I believe I called that a draw on the curtain, but that's another one for Tommy. They've picked up points again. They've only lost 1 in the last 5 since they've been there, or maybe it's 4 they've been there, but they're finding a wee bit of form. Cumbernauld have dropped in the league a wee bit, but I still think they're a tricky team to beat. They seem to make it difficult for everybody when they're playing.
I think they've scored in the last minute, Cumbernauld.
Aye, late goal.
So it's tough for Tommy and that, although it's as you're saying, it's a point gain, that they'll be sitting probably disappointed because it's been so close in their reach to get the 3 points, and then they've lost it or they conceded an equaliser right at the end. So, you know, we all know what that feeling's like. You're a bit dejected, getting off the park, and you were just wishing that the points were at extra. But mate, I don't know if you're going to talk about the other ones. I think there were some other good results in the league. I think, to be honest, with our manager, I think he's doing very, very well. Butch, mate.
6-1, definitely.
6-1. See, even sitting where they are in the league, mate, they're having a good season. They're just floating. They're just floating round about just that top 4, 5. You know what I mean?
Unbeaten in the last 5. You know, I mean, 3 draws, 2 wins.
Very well,
but they are another one kind of under the radar. See, for me, somebody we don't ever really speak about, and I think they deserve a wee mention this week, is the Bens. Beating Troon 5-1.
Great result, mate.
Mate, they're another one. They've lost a couple of games recently, but they're difficult to beat all the time. And that was I didn't expect a result of that. So
they've done superbly, and I'll be honest, they've proved me wrong. I thought they would maybe struggle a wee bit this season, and they've been really good. They've picked up some good results. Now by Glenafton, mate.
Yep, 5-1 against Glencairn, a good one.
Top result, mate, and that's a great one for Glenafton. They needed that, because I seen they lost Sean McElroy to the Meda and that, and so there were some good results in the league this week. Not meant for that.
Just a wee quick touch on just the other results. Largs drawn with Rob Roy. Largs are kind of been another one we've not spoken much about. Army probably not be overly happy with how their season's gone. Blantyre losing to Rossdale, good one for Rossdale, but Gibby losing battle for Gibby for me. He's kind of hands are a bit tied there.
Aye, Gibby, listen, Gibby's, we're fans of him on the show, so for Gibby just to have the team in that league and all that and competing is, listen, I know what Gibby's like. He wants to win football games and he wants to be successful, so he'll not be enjoying that they're not winning games, but for him to have that team with the budget and that he's got there in that league and fighting a losing battle, losing the best players every year, it's amazing that he's in amongst that group of teams, not me.
I know. Moving on to Conference A, Arthurlie 3, Blitz 2, 4th one, Craigmark 3, Girvan 5, Lugar 0, Irvine Vicks 3, Borough 1, Maple 4, Maryhill 1, Muirkirk 0, Lesmahago 3. Before we start, I'm sure we both like to wish the boys at Lugar well. A bit of a bad one, but it sounds like yesterday, so we hope you have a speedy recovery, lads.
Horrible, mate. Fracture's still in a broken leg, man. I've never heard anything like that in the one game of my life. So, no, honestly, like football comes, I've posted something similar on Twitter about things that's happening in the background with our players at Ashfield. But for us, that result, right, probably doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to them, and probably doesn't matter to a lot of people, because the most important thing is the two boys' health. You know what I mean? Their health and well-being. So I totally, mate. A big thing, mate. A big shout out to them, and I hope they recover. Even stick on a wee bit of PG and diet, and hopefully will help your recovery.
Just soothes the soul. Listen to this too. Right, we'll move on to the big game first against. I thought actually what it was for higher, so it's less impressive than I thought it was going to be. 3-2 Arthur beating Whitlets. Whitlets are always a difficult side to beat. Arthur still undefeated in the league. That's them moved into top of the league. Doing really well right now. I just can't. We've spoken about this before. I can't see anybody stop Arthur their shots.
Just grinding the games out now. They're maybe not banging as many goals as in what they were a few weeks ago. But let's be honest, they weren't always going to be scoring goals like that and that amount of goals all season. So for them, they just keep getting the 3 points and taking another game off, and they're a very good side, mate. They've got very, very good players. See if middle to front, there's a lot of good players there, but defensively they seem quite sound. I know they've conceded 2 goals, which Whitlets are a good side. So no, it's a good result for the Athley boys.
Well, you're saying middle to front, they've scored 46 goals in 11 games. That kind of speaks for itself.
Aye.
I'm going to go with 2 shocks in the league. First one, well done to Glasgow United beating St Cadoc's. I'm looking at ring that paper. Shut up, Paul. Right, the shock. I know, mate, it's late, man. I'm tired. Right, the shock in that league. Irvine Vicks beating the Borough 3-1. Listen to Jamie McKim's interview after the game. He seemed absolutely scunnered. That's well done to Irvine Vicks on their first one of the season. The Borough are just not having a good time right now.
No, I didn't expect that, but don't get me wrong. Last week I was saying, I think I did say that I think Irvine Vicks are getting better, and I was hoping that they would get a result. So, no, delighted for their boys and delighted for Dougie, you know what I mean? Dougie McDuff, a really good guy, and that just shows, you know, that could be their wee confidence boost and just kick them on a wee bit. But really well done to them, because I know they've had a tough start to the league, but disappointing for Jamie, and there'll be nobody more disappointed in him. He's a young manager with a lot of high expectations and high demands of players in his team, so he'll not be happy with that. So I wouldn't want to talk really much else about it for him and rub salt into the wound, but he'll be disappointed with that one, mate.
Another one, Maple 4, Maidhill 1. Maidhill went up right early on. Maple seemed to steamroll them at the end. Maidhill has been having a decent wee run, even losing to Arthurlie in the Cup. It was still a good result, 2-1. But again, we spoke about this. Maple have had quite a bit of chat for us. They've 6 undefeated in the league. They're flying now. They're
doing really well, mate, and that's a good result for them. Rossnat will be disappointed, but Maple are one of the informed teams in the league, so it's not really a surprise that they've won the game. Maybe it's a surprise that they've won it 4-1. It's an impressive, convincing win in the end.
Definitely. Craig Mark beating 4th, got himself back in form.
Good result. 4th are in form, and all, not mean.
Thing is, Craig Mark that brings him back up to 25 points, tied with 4th. That's one of the ones. The 4th one that they start to get themselves a wee bit of gap, and keeping themselves right in the hunt for kind of top 2 or 3 spot. Craig Mark, just a wee touch on them. We drew them in the cup, so we'll have them in December. So we were talking about it on our committee chat. How that's a game we're really looking forward to test ourselves to see what kind of level we're at. Like, we've got the Drummond Friday night, which we've spoken about that we'll try and go to. But somebody like Craig Mark, that's somewhere we want to try and see how we are progressing as a club. But the big result in that league for me was my beloved Lismahago beating Muirkirk 3-0. Absolutely delighted for the Gow. Well done, lads.
No, I know you're gunning for the Gow, and you've you're not gunning for Muirkirk because of your predictions, you madman. But
I like the guys. They've actually been really good with me, chatting away to some of them.
It's all banter.
I just don't want to. I'm an idiot. But
it's all banter, mate. But I think they've got down to 10 men, and I think Big Naddy's get sent off down there. I think they've played a large part of the game with 10 men, and Kev will be disappointed because I don't know how he's been sent off, but he's an big experienced player.
Right.
So he probably should know better. But don't get me wrong, I don't know the ins and outs of how he was sent off. But very, very good win. Very good win
definitely.
for the Gow. And they're going all right. They've picked up well.
A couple of good wee wins recently, so long may it continue, because I love the Gow. Moving on to Conference B, Ardere 0, Gartcairn 2, the mighty Ashfield 6, Port Glasgow 1, Cambuslang 5, Kello 1, Dorai 2, Royal Albert 0, Glasgow United 2, St Cadoc's 0, Greenock 2, Thorneywood 3, Renfrew 2, Cullook 4. I think there's quite a bit to talk about in this. Since I made a bit of an arse, I'll go straight on to it. Great win for Glasgow United. Really well done to them, beating St Cadoc's. St Cadoc's first defeat of the season.
That's one of the results of the day, mate. One of the results of the day for me. I just think St Cadoc's were going well. They're a very good side under Southie. I was here. I noted to take anything away from the Glasgow United boys, but I think they had a few COVID cases. But I might be wrong, but it doesn't matter. What a result! What a result for Glasgow United.
Well,
keeping a clean sheet's one thing, and winning the game's unbelievable. And I tell you what, they are really turning it on now, Glasgow United.
Looking at the form in the last 6 games, 1-4, drawn 2. I mean, that's top of the table type form as well. So they're doing really well, and they're quite they keep that up. They'll be climbing up the table pretty sharpish.
Aye.
On to Ardere and Gartcairn. Sean will be quite disappointed that they've lost that one. But Willie, on the other hand, will be absolutely delighted. They've kind of clawed themselves back into it a wee touch. That was a really good win for Gartcairn. Terry Hewitt's one of the new signings for a couple of weeks ago. They look like a couple of boys have been released, a couple have come in, so they're looking like they're improving.
Aye, I can't believe that big dough ball scored, man. Big Terry, man. But Gartcairn, see, I don't know. It's hard because it's a very good result for Gartcairn, right? Because Ardere away is going to be a difficult game. But the same thing, man. I looked at the table. I think Ardere are still sitting in third place, man. They are still very much.
That was only their second defeat of the season.
I know. So
I've probably been a bit harsh on them, to be honest, when I've been saying that I thought they've had that in form and stuff, because their league form still, considering it's still excellent.
I know, they've only lost 2 games, and it's no disgrace losing to Gartcairn, because I don't want to talk about budgets and that, but if you probably compare the budget that Sean's got to the budget that Wally and that's got, it's night and day, do you know what I mean? And Ardere are still sitting ahead of them on the table and still sitting in second place. So it's a brilliant result for Gartcairn, but I don't think Sean's going to be too disgraced or too downbeat about it. He's not that kind of guy either. He seems a resilient character.
One of the ones, it is what it is, I suppose, particularly when it's teams at a similar level. I'd like to say a well done to Dorai getting their first one of the season, beating Royal Albert. We know obviously the issues that Royal Albert are having now. Hopefully they can just keep going, because it's a really difficult season for them. But well done to Dorai getting the first win.
Yep, well done Dorai.
Bit of shock for me. I know they're not having the best of times in their semi-managerless. Renfrew getting beat 4-2 after Cullook.
I'm surprised with that one. Like, I was impressed with Cullook when we played them. The results for when we played them haven't been the best, but they made it very difficult for us in the night, and we needed a goal right then. So I was impressed with them. So I think it helped. It's two teams that are playing Astro all the time, innit? So I don't know, but it's a very good result for Cullook, and that might just be the wee springboard for Martin and his team. But it's disappointing for Renfrew, because when we played Renfrew, man, I was impressed. They've got some top players there. They've got Boyd Driver, the Divers, in fact. They've got
Scotty Morton as well. Was that correct?
Morton, I think Morton's brilliant. And
for me, he's a
Boyd Dallas. Boyd Dallas, a good player, and also they've got very good players. So
they've got good experience with like Scotty. They've got with Jamie Benton, who's played for a long time. He's a good player. I mean, there is a lot of experience in there. Moving on to the table toppers, the 10th one in a row in the league. Cambuslang beating Kello 5-1, kind of expected. More goals for Williamson takes him to, I think it's 28 and 13 games this season. Absolutely ridiculous.
No, listen, what can we say about Cambuslang that we have near the last good few weeks, mate? They're they're impressive, and the levels of consistency are outstanding, and they keep winning games, and to be honest with you, they're winning them comfortably most weeks now. They know that they're not. It's not always going to be like that. There's some tough games coming up, but as I keep saying, confidence will be high in their camp. Boy Williamson, see when you get a boy scoring that amount of goals, you always think you get a chance. And then obviously they get Big Anson and Gemo and that, and also they've got goals. They've got goals for different places and all.
More experience.
The boy Dick, experience. So no, listen, it was an expected result, and I'm nothing against Kello, but I'm not surprised they've won 5-1 because they're doing that to most teams now.
Kello haven't won in the last 6 either. So moving on to yourselves.
Yeah.
So it was a wee bit of an awkward one for me yesterday with you, because obviously I always want you to do well because of yourself.
Yeah.
I love the Ports. I was disappointed to see them take quite a beating. But how did the game go?
We were brilliant, mate. I thought we were very good. Very good. That first 20 minutes, mate, we went 4-0 up. We just came flying out the traps. We were sharp. The boys carried out the game plan to a T. We kind of tweaked the shape, and it worked really well. But we had a few boys out as well. But the team, the gaffer, got the team selection bang on, and the message. It's one of the ones you tell the boys how you want them to play a certain way, and they've went out and done it at a T, and they've all played well. And so I think we've just kind of went a few goals up, and it's kind of knocked the stuffing out of Port. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of killed it off quite early, although you're not thinking that at the time, because you know that with Eddie and Coyley's teams are going to be resilient. They're going to be they're going to have that belief if they can get a wee goal. But we went in 4-0 at half time, and then we've come out and got a fifth, probably about 10 minutes into the second half, which inevitably just knocked the stuffing out of them again a wee bit. They've got a goal, they've had a wee jag for that, and then we've ended up getting a 6 as well. So listen, PG, I'm the gaffer and myself are delighted because they boys deserved that. Because we had a tough couple of weeks there, and it was only one league game and a cup game, but we conceded 6 against Greenock and we conceded 4 against Forneywood. And for us, that kind of performance at home was coming, and someday was unfortunately was going to be in the receiving end yet. And we rang McManus up top for us, and man, he's got 2 hat-tricks in the last 2 weeks. He's flying, mate. But across the board, every single player was outstanding, mate. Absolutely outstanding. Buzzing with him. But it's only one game. We can't get carried away. See if you've got your stats here. Look how many goals we've scored in all the games.
You've scored 43. Usually the second top goal scorers in the league.
I know, mate.
But for what roughly the position he's in defensively, but we've spoken about that before.
Aye, the defence.
On the same time as that, you're saying the boys needed that. You have won 4 of your last 5 in the league. You know what I mean?
I know, mate.
They're one of the informed teams.
I know. And I'm biased, mate. I call it maxi ball now, mate. Honestly, every game we're in now, we're conceding goals, and if we're not conceding goals, we're scoring loads of goals. And even if we're scoring loads of goals, like our games are like 4 each, 6 4s, 10 2s, 4 2s. No, it must be unbelievable for the neutral, but an absolute
money.
Bomb scale.
Final game. We'll not even go into the game too much.
Yeah.
Lost 3-2 to Thorneywood. Greenock have been in a bit of form recently under Gary and stuff. Thorneywood have been doing really well, so that was a good win for them. But most of you have seen it. It was announced. This is Sunday. It was announced the day that John Doyle is a new manager at Greenock. Something that we called early on, but that's what it is. But all the best to Doyle. Actually, I think if he can keep a hold of Masty's team, then he'll do a good job. He's a good coach. No,
Doyle, he's a great guy as well. Very knowledgeable in the game and a very good coach, as you say. Sessions and all that will be excellent for the players down there. So, a great appointment for Greenock, and especially after back a disappointing result for them. What they'll class as disappointing, it's then a new manager coming up will give them a wee jag for next week. But no, not Nizzy and Dolzy, what a result that is for them. I had a wee bit of banter going to and fro, mate, on the old Twitter, mate. But listen, I'm not overly shocked with it, because They came down and done us, but I just maybe thought that Vienna had a bit too much in the forward area for them. Not what I mean, but it's been a great result for them, mate.
Definitely is. They've done well, really well.
Yeah.
Conference C, Ardrossan 1, Wishaw 2, East Kilbride 2, Kilsyth 1, Lanark 0, Drum 6, Nielsen 2, Larkhall 1, Ants 1, Yoker 6, Vela Clyde 3, Perthshire 3, Vela Leven 1, The Rock 7. East Kilbride, excellent result for them. Kilsyth have been 4 in the bounce, they'd won. East Kilbride have been kind of doing a bit better, but that was a really big result for them. I seen they put on Twitter that it was the 21s that beat them.
I don't know.
I don't know what that was about. I'm not really. And then the tag does. I was thinking, did we say something? But I can't really remember. But that was a good one for them.
Listen, doesn't matter what team they put. They get 3 points in the board, won it.
Exactly. We should go with that team more often. They might win that. Wishaw, I was glad to see. Glad to see Spud get a win there. They've been a wee bit of a tough time after an excellent start. That was a good one for them.
Very good one.
The Drum, another one that they just kind of seem to keep ploughing on. There's no, like we said last week, there's no massive amount said about the Drum now, but I just can't see by them. They're just beating teams kind of other than the Nielsen and Rock games. They just seem to be beating everybody.
It'll be good to hopefully see them at close hand on Friday if you're going to be there. But if I can get down for the game on Friday against St Peters in the Cup, St Peters versus Drum, but they're doing very well, mate. But good side.
Aye, definitely. Good one for Nielsen beating Larkhall 2-1, keep the pressure on, and the Rock were a really comfortable win, 7-1 against Vela Leven. Again, both teams trying their best to keep the pressure on the Drum.
It just kind of looks as if there's like a wee pack of three. It looks as if we can do Nielsen and Drum are your three really now, innit? But I think that's a great, well done to the Candy, you know what I mean? Don't think I ever hide my feelings for the Candy. So no, it's a good win for them. 7 goals, impressive.
You look at one of the informed teams in the league who have really started to put some results together. Yoker beating the Ants 6-1. The Ants have been a bit funny that they had that really poor start and that really strong spell, and then they've lost the last 3 quite convincingly. So, but Yoker, they're really starting to motor now. That's 4 wins and 2 draws in the last 6 games. I
don't think they lost convincingly because they only get beat 2-1 off Kilsyth last week, didn't they?
I think they got a 5-1 the week before or something. I think they're a couple of half after that really good spell they had.
That'll just. The answer is I wasn't expecting that result, to be honest with you, and brilliant for Yoker being in form. But the answer, you don't know. It's hard because they're turning their Nielsen in that and getting good results, and so let's just hope that it's not the best. It's not that Ants team that turn up next week when we play them in the Scottish Cup.
I hope for yesterday's team. Just a wee mention for Perthshire and Vela Clyde. Perthshire, they're another one under the radar doing really well. They're sitting in fourth place.
Big Musa, Big B getting a hat-trick. He's an excellent Rock striker, mate. He's banging him in the now down there. Big centre forward down there. So good, very good player. Big B. So he's getting a hat-trick yesterday, mate. Shire, mate. The Shire are punching well above, man. I think Billy's doing a great job, and Vela Clyde, I'm delighted for their management team to get after.
That's a good point. It's been a while for them. For me, you look at all the tables, and I've spoken about this before. It's very evident that the league's unbalanced. You know, you see in every one of the conferences, there's pretty much 2 or 3 teams who are quite a bit ahead, and then there's like 2 or 3 teams at the bottom who are quite a bit behind. It'll be good for these teams next year when they actually go into the league where they're going to be competitive. It's teams at their level, and I'm looking forward to that next year because I think.
Do you know? Feel a lot of them. You get your maybe couple at the top and your couple at the bottom, but see that for probably third down to the bottom 3 or something. It's not that much difference between a lot of the teams, and teams are beating others in any given day. I think I know that for all league anyway. There's there's no easy games, you know what I mean?
Nah, it's other than the kind of bottom few, what you're saying, there isn't it? Everything's very nut and tuck. moving on to Division 4, there was only 2 games yesterday. BSC drawn 3 to Glenvale. Campbelltown beating Harthill 4-3. 2 kind of surprise results. Glenvale were 3-1 up against BSC, who scored 2 late goals to get a point. That's two draws in the bounce for them. And Campbelltown beating Harthill 4-3. That's 2 at the last at the 3 that they've won. So both teams are starting to find a wee bit of form, you know what I mean?
I think that Campbelltown were 3-0 up at one point, I 3-0, I think 3-0 up. But listen, brilliant for Campbelltown. Really get a bit of engagement with them on Twitter and that, and they seem really nice people and that. So I'm delighted for them to get 3 points. BSC, listen, see, even though it's been 2 draws, it's two games you've not lost, so it's like 2 unbeaten in it. So you're starting to put a wee run there. They're showing good character in that as well. They'll be disappointed as well.
I think the last game they actually won was when they beat us. I've not seen Harthill this season, but you would be, if you're Harthill, you'd be really disappointed because they're the established team in our league in terms of they've been a junior team for however long. I'd imagine they took most of the players out of the West with them, so you really would expect them to be doing better. No movement up the top. Top 4 teams won their playing yesterday, so everything stayed kind of as it was. But it's one of the ones that's kind of coincide and finale, as we say every week. They're the 2 that are a wee bit ahead now. But that wraps up another week. So hope everybody has a good week. Hopefully myself and Dak can get a wee bit of something done against the Drum. And
we've got episode out on Tuesday, isn't there?
Wednesday we do a really good one, a Division 4 special. We have Paul McTaggart for St Peters, Keith Gibson for Harmony Row, and Brian Blair for Finnart, and it was quite a good wee night we had to them.
It was good, it was a good.
Great watching that on Wednesday when it comes out at 9 o'clock as always, and I hope you all have a cracking week.
Everybody have a great weekend. I know it's Scottish Cup for a lot of teams in the weekend, so go on out and support your local clubs. Get behind them Friday night, St Peters versus the Drum. That'll be a good game. But a Friday night we're asking for, so hopefully PG and Dak will be in attendance, and then on to the weekend's games, and we'll do this all again next week.
Exactly. Have a good one, people. See you later.